I'm a TISS ODCL first year student. My work experience has been in Cognizant Technology Solutions as a programmer analyst and also as a training manager in a corporate training firm. Over to you, Jaya.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Jaya Charde. I am also first year student of MA program ODCL. I have worked with Marico before for 3 years in research and development.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we can start.
Diversified profile. How did you then got into like from R&D and then ODCL? Like, how's the transition?
So while working, I realized that I'm more inclined towards this field, and Praveen will obviously tell a lot of.
I don't want to have this as a PI for you. You gave it last year, but you know वो आ जाता है अंदर से faculty हो तो
No problem.
आ जाता है, you know हमें वो आदत से पूछने की. Anyway, that was really kind of you to answer. Guys, please go ahead. I won't disturb now. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. Let's first briefly tell about Tata Institute of Social Sciences. As you all know, this actually started as Tata School of Social Work in 1936. In 1944, it was renamed as Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Now we know Tata Institute of Social Sciences offers more than 50 programs for MA courses across 4 campuses in India. Now I'll introduce to our course, the ODCL, which was introduced in the year 2018. It has been three to 4 years since our course has started. So many of your students will be having what is OD. This is a common query which I too get, what's ODCL. So to understand at a basic level, OD can be understood as a plan changed effort to carry out changes in an organization culture through the application of behavioral sciences. Now I'll draw an analogy with a doctor and a coach so that all the students who don't have a technical background regarding OD also can understand. Now, if a small kid goes to a doctor, how the process would start. The doctor would interact with the child, will know about his name, his class, his favorite cartoon characters, kind of build the rapport with the child, offer him, show him some toys as such. Then he will do quickly the pre-diagnosis part by checking the pulse, thermometer, or temperature as and when required. Then he will send to the diagnostic test if required. OD consultant in its initial part also does the same things. So we interact with the client, get to know more about the client, his vision, his values, what he sees for the organization as such. Then he also uses the diagnostic tools like Goldman-Deal 4-frame model, Burke-Letwin model. These are the diagnostic tools which are available with an OD professional. So while using these tools, he comes to get the root of the problem. Once he gets to the root of the problem, he wears an hat of a mentor or a coach, where he kind of gives the feedback to the client by which he will know where he is lacking. He'll provide the action plan through which he can achieve his goals and provides the necessary support. So moving on to the program, this program has four fieldwork internships. These 4 fieldwork internships are provided by the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, where our institute has tie-up with the corporate organizations. Candidate need not attend any interviews after once he is part of the course to be a part of these fieldwork internships. In many of the B schools, you will find people approaching for live projects on their own. But in our case, our institute takes care of this. And also there are 2 situational learning experience, which I'll be dealing in detail later. And to be a part of this course, only mandatory requirement is 2 years of work experience. One of the reason being for this criteria is being to understand how an organization works, for which kind of an organization structure, which strategy would be appropriate. Having an experience with an organization gives them more tangible understanding regarding it. And we have also a dissertation. I think this one actually stands apart with other B schools as such, because here we are taught how to go through the research papers, do the secondary research, and which is actually the basis for the evidence-based management. So we get to know, so all our findings would be have a lot of scientific backing, so that we are not making our suggestions or recommendations out of thin air. These have a lot of scientific backing. And once you go through this journey, many will feel the personal transformation at an individual level also, making the concept of use of self, which will be learning once you be a part of this course. So coming to the courses, we have 20 ODCL courses. They are of a wide range courses we are being offered. The critical thinking and problem solving is one of my favorite courses. This is a course which is offered by very few B schools. Here, we are taught by the principal people who have worked as a principal consultants in one of the top consulting firms. So we are getting the knowledge right from the industry people. So our knowledge is in sync with with the industry happenings as such. This is the leadership as a service project, which I wanted to stress more upon. Here we are given an opportunity to work with a social organization in standing with our institute's values of being a social science institute. So here we get to work with an NGO where we work with the senior leadership management and drive a change from following the OD processes on a complete level. And also we have other foundational courses where we have will be getting introduced to other social science courses. We'll be getting to know about the history of India, economy, environment. We'll be introduced to different aspects of social sciences. So I think this is the one right which most of the aspirants are waiting for. Yesterday only our placement committee has released this report of our placements. So we are proud to say that this year we have achieved highest CTC of 42 lakhs, and the average and median CTC also have seen a significant growth. You can see an year-on-year growth, right? Compared to the last year, it has seen close to a 7 lakh jump, which is pretty good for a course which is just 3 years old. Most of our placements have been in the area of change management consultancy, HR strategy, HR BP roles, and learning and development roles. 65% of our seniors were placed in the consulting roles, which shows the right requirement of the industry, consulting industry for our kind of change management professionals. So these are some of our industry partners. You can have a look at it. Over to you, Jay.
Thank you, Praveen. So guys, life at TISS is fun. You might have seen it in many videos, the campus of TISS also, and few of the fun events we have mentioned on the slides here. The first one is talking about Samagam, which is our alumni meet, and where we get to meet our seniors and also people from the executive batch, and all of them are working at the senior leadership positions in organizations. And Samagam, this event provides us a platform to meet with our seniors and learn from them. The another one is Transcendence. It's a cultural come technical activities programs. We have a lot of fun events in this. And ODX is again a high value webinar on organization development, change management, and leadership. We have hosted 2 webinars in our session. First one was by Professor Cameron, who is from University of Michigan, and second one was from Mr. Arun Mehra, who was ex-chairman of Planning Commission of India. And the committee posted on first Friday of every alternate months. Also, we have master classes by our capability building committee in-house, and here we invite many senior leadership people, and they tell us about the ongoing activities, their personal life experiences, contributions. So though the course is academic driven, but at the same time, it gives exposure to the external environment also. And Praveen also mentioned about FIR, field internships, and leadership as service projects. So we are not disconnected from the external environment, and TISS provides us many opportunities to work on field projects. So that gives us opportunity to actually imply whatever the theories we are learning in the classrooms on field. So it's really good experience, and overall there are so many fun activities happens. TISS brings a lot of diversity, and I have not seen 2-3 people of the same background in our branch, so we get to learn a lot from our peers as well here. So now this was all about what the ODCL is and about TISS and life at TISS. So aspirants must be thinking like how to get into. So let's get on to that part now. So the key to get in is the TISSNet. All of us are aware. TISSNet is plays a very crucial role. This is like a first entry ticket. It's a qualifier exam. About TISSMAT, admin is yet to take a stance on this year. Last year at our time it was planned but got cancelled because of the ongoing pandemic. So we had online assessment last year, which was like broken into two parts. One was extemporary and the another was personal interview. So not assuring that this year the online assessment will be same. They might add some more elements to it or remove. The notification about it will be released soon. But since you have a background about it, just don't stop your preparations for TISSMAT. Also be prepared. The first key is TISSNet. So let's focus on TISSNet first, since this is the qualifier exam, and without qualifying it we can't get to the next steps also. So we'll see about the TISSNet now. Next. So TISSNet, it's a 100 question, 100 marks, 40 questions on GK, 30 on maths and 30 on English. So I'm assuming like most of the aspirants might be preparing for CAT, XAT and other exams. So English and maths won't be very tough for you guys. You can easily score 55 out of 60. This level is easy to moderate and not really difficult, but I think you should focus on GK. GK also has a sectional cutoff, which we don't have for maths and English. Minimum 14 marks you have to get qualified for like for the further processes after TISSNet. So you should focus on GK. And that plays very crucial part. We can see the maximum questions are also from the GK. And my personal strategy for this was, now since even the days are also less, I used to dedicate one day for current affair of 1 month. You can subscribe. There are many materials on the online platforms. You can subscribe to any of those. But now what you can do is dedicate one day for current affairs of one month. Like study the current affairs of last 12 months, then revise it, go through the last year papers, give mocks. You will understand the buckets of questions in GK, and the same will apply for maths and English also. And trust me, there are many buckets like books, authors, where are these headquarters of many organizations. These all questions usually come. So please go through it, study the pattern, make those buckets and read all of those material. You will get online many of the material. One question on author of books, one question on headquarters, one question on geography, one on history, one from polity. This comes every year. So you can just catch those marks +1 and you can study in this pattern. This will help. This has personally helped me. This was my pattern. So yeah, you can ask questions on the preparation or about OD. We are more than happy to answer. We just covered it in brief now. Thank you.
Can you brief us about how OD is different than the flagship HR?
Yes.
I'll tell this one. So as we have discussed earlier also, right, OD is mostly a consulting process. We have gone through the scientific process of OD consulting. If we can compare it to then HR, right, HR is more often essentially a function, like other functions. An organization have a finance function, marketing function. OD process is an industry agnostic or this function agnostic. So this process can be applied to any function. As OD and HR also involve people, interactions with the people, HR function is adopting OD processes sooner than the other functions.
True.
So this OD consulting process is being applied in HR. So you can see the new kind of roles also be emerging in the HR domain as well. And also you see the organization renaming some of their HR departments like learning and development department as learning and organization development department. Talent acquisition department is being renamed as talent and organization development. So these organizations are also moving towards it, applying the OD processes in their function.
Okay. Okay. So fine. So can you also let us know in a little depth manner that if anybody who gets into the like anybody who does ODCL, that's this, right, gets into Astrat, I think Astrat is one of the recruiter on the campus, right? So how does a day look like? Like those 8 hours, 10 hours, what you guys would be actually engaging yourself into?
Actually, that depends upon the roles that have been offered in each of the things. So if we take the case of a change management consultant, which has been the 65% of the consulting been recruited. In those cases, mostly they will be dealing with the problems which the organizations have been facing. You take the context of the COVID-19, where we have seen massive changes happening in the organization.
Absolutely.
So now how to handle this change in a methodological manner? So we go through the framework, scientific framework, by which methodologically these things are applied and change is being handled very smoothly. The transition is happening with more smoothly.
Okay, so you guys deal with anything and everything that has a problem basically in the company, and if they want to restructure it or want to change it. So it's predominantly being a consultant who are helping the organization to do better daily basis way, compared with the HR, which is the function which takes care of the business as usual sort of functions, but you guys are over and above that, if I'm not wrong. Okay.
Yeah, and when we can say
that sounds pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I just checked the report, placement report, and 65% of the students are getting into the consulting. So, okay, let's just say if somebody has no interest in HR, but want to get into consulting, right? Got a 2 years of work and does a good job in, let's say, TISS examination, whatever, 70 plus score aa jata hai. Do you think those sort of students will be happy joining ODCL?
Yeah, ODCL offers that opportunities. Once he gets into the ODCL, it's upon the candidate to make use of the things which are offered by our course, like the field internships and the LAS project. If he is able to grasp those concepts and perform well, I think consulting opportunities would be available for the candidate as well.
But Praveen, 34 seats are only there.
Yeah, that's
that's too less, man. That's too less.
Yeah. So it's a new course, right? So we are also seeing the response from the.
One interesting question I wanted to ask you guys, both of you. This is like Jaya for you also and Praveen for you.
Yeah.
What happened in last year? Is it because of the COVID that I could see the jump? Like you had last year average package of 17.5, and now you guys like 25.5. I've never seen such a huge jump in any of the B school ever. Let it be Ahmedabad or IS, nowhere. वो 7.5 lakh का jump. What happened? Is it just because the highest went up? Like, what is it?
No, the reason also being, if you have seen the placement report, 65% is in the consulting. It's essentially dealing with the change consulting. You see the right industry is also recognizing the role of these professionals.
Exactly.
As and when COVID happened, right, they required professionals who can handle this. So we were the ready-made professionals who had scientifically kind of taught these kind of things. Also, we have leadership involved in our course curriculum. This is one of the very few courses, right, where leadership is taught at academical level, and also we have a live project working on it.
True.
So these kind,
yeah. I was just adding to the point that the situation has changed, like pre-COVID and post-COVID. If we see, the external environment has been changed a lot, and internal workforce dynamics also. And this course deals with how to handle such situation and how to make organizations self-sustainable in this manner. So industries have recognized the importance more now, and like earlier also there was a position, but now it has increased, and that's why we are seeing this change. Praveen, continue.
No, that's fine.
So you guys must be proud of your program, yeah? Then I mean, like, because it has done a phenomenal job. Like, wo jo jump aaya hai, I mean, that's phenomenal. So back to the same thing. Like when you talk about ODCL, right? If somebody scores, what's the cutoff? 68, 70? Is that the number that we're looking at? 64
was last year's cutoff, but we will suggest aspirants like on a safe side score 70 plus 70, 75 on a safe. So if the more you score in TISSNet, the pressure for your further processes gets reduced. Then that's why it's to be on safe side. It's good to score as much as you can in TISSNet.
Definitely. Then guys, you better take 80 hours of mark. Then you'll come to 17. Then you'll have good time. Actually, वैसे होता है. If you get 70, no, that's good. So that's it happened to us also. So anyway, so is there any special requirement of a candidate that you guys look at in ODCL? Relevant work ex हो या फिर academics ज़्यादा अच्छा हो या फिर top notch UG colleges से वो belong करता हो? What are you guys looking at? Like, is it जैसे IIMs में होता है, like, you 999 and IITs and BITS and SRCC symbiosis and all that. Do you have that sort of a bifurcation here, or in a nutshell, like about discrimination kind of thing here?
No,
like, for everyone.
The main thing, only requirement is the 2 years of work experience. And that
Acha.
work experience can be in any sector.
Great.
Say in IT, say in social sector also, if you have a 2 years work experience, you are eligible for this course. So these kind of a big UG college will be definitely an add-on. But this as an institute never discriminates based on your UG college, the gap years which you have, like other B schools. So you won't be discriminated when you're admitting into the college.
And what is a self-financed program? Like, can you
Yeah.
give me a little idea about it? What exactly does it mean? I mean, like,
See, if you compare the other courses in TISS, right, the fees would be subsidized by the government.
oh,
This
okay.
course is a self-financed one, means we won't be getting any subsidy. That's why you see the fees, right? The fees is 2 lakhs per semester, totaling around 8 lakhs to the complete course.
Right.
So
Right.
this kind of a subsidy we won't be getting when compared to the other course.
Right. Would you mind giving me an idea about the roles or probably the designations that were offered on the campus? I mean, we understand it's a consultant, but what is it like? You know, consultant in XYZ, associate consultant, senior consultant. Would you guys mind sharing that?
Yesterday only we had our placement report being released, so we are yet to get all those information about the
Okay.
roles and all those specific details.
Okay, no problem.
Our placement committee will soon release the entire
Yeah.
report, detailed report on
Not-
public platforms.
Not that's a very typical answer. We know it. Our placement committee. So I got it. Got it. Let's take some questions from kids here.
Yeah.
Total intake program, guys, 34. Sir, can we ask questions? Yes, you can. How to clear TISSNet, that to score 70 plus. I think Jaya made it very clear, you know, how you should be going it. TISSNet will happen this year. No, I don't think TISSNet will happen, right? Is there any chance that TISSNet will happen?
So as of now, our like admin has not taken any decision
Right.
on it. Depends on situation. They'll release the notifications on it.
Right. Perfect. So अभी फिलहाल के लिए तो guys TISSNet is a big no. आप पकड़ सकते हो TISSNet है नहीं. They have roughly around about, you know, let's say 1.5 month for test preparation. Do you guys think it's decent amount of time left to kind of, you know, score 70, 75?
If like most of the people might be preparing for CAT or ZAT or any other competitive exam, so they are already gone through the Quant syllabus and English syllabus. They just have to revise it now so that they don't lose the touch of it. They'll have to do GK, and I think 1 month is sufficient. Like they'll have to work extra, maybe dedicate 6 to 8 hours per day to read on it, but it's not impossible. It's still possible to do. They just have to plan it properly. Like I was saying, 1 day, 1 month current affairs along with one topic from the GK, one day geography, history, polity, like that, and they'll get in. It's better to give mocks at this moment so that they understand the buckets, that what questions are like every year these questions are coming. I used to study like that the one question on book will come. One day I'll sit and read all the book authors and what they are talking about, books which are published in last 1 year. One day I'll read about the headquarters, where are those. One day I'll sit and read on longest, shortest, tallest, peaks, jungles, everything, national parks, all of that, because these questions come. So that is how you add +1 marks to your list.
Okay. How to prepare for extempore, that I'll take care of, Swati, don't worry. Is there a reservation for ODCL?
Yes.
Yeah.
Acha, there's a reservation for ODCL. Okay. Interviews and preparation, guys, we will talk about it. Even the distant will talk about it. Do we have Genman roles in ODCL placement? I guess, yeah, the consult is a pretty much Genman role because you guys will be looking into everything. Again, you guys are better well versed with this. Okay, fair enough. HR course के लिए 2 साल का work चाहिए क्या? नहीं, उसके लिए नहीं है, वो straight forward है. Okay, what else we have? And that's it. Somebody said that, you know, उसने HR का tick करा था, तो वो ODCL भी उसमें आ जाएगा या HR का उस ODCL अलग से करना पड़ेगा?
हाँ, अलग से करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
Okay. ACADS weightage होता है ज़्यादा TISS में?
No explicit weightage for ACADS. Like we have in IIMs, we don't have any explicit weightage for ACADS.
Okay. One question from my side. Let's just say if somebody does ODCL and get into the company as a consultant, what sort of career path he or she should be looking at? Like, do they have a chance to get into like VP HR or like, you know, head of the HR, something like that?
Yeah, that depends again upon the candidate, because we have plethora of opportunities. The kind of switch we can do from a consultancy to HR as well. That is very smooth in case of an ODCL course.
Okay. Any other program requires minimum workers apart from ODCL in TISS? Guys, you have any idea?
No, no. Only I think only the ODCL is the only program which is.
Definitely, because it requires sort of maturity, like it
Yeah.
requires sort of
Right.
understanding.
Yes.
You can't, I mean, I don't want to demon saying that the freshers don't have, but when you actually do a sort of work case, you know, you have actually burned your finger somewhere.
Yeah.
Now you know what needs to be done. So I think makes sense.
Like we can go back and reflect on it. There's a lot of self-reflection things happen here, and if you have work experience, it becomes easier for you because you know how organization works, how
Exactly,
the structure is.
exactly, perfect. That gives you a foundation basically.
Yeah.
During the consultancy placement, will our accounts be a problem?
That again depends upon the organization to organization, right? Every organization will have their own requirements. So,
You guys have MBBs coming on the campus for this consulting role?
which one?
MBBs?
I'm not aware.
I can see Ben Company or BCG. Do you guys have?
No, no, no,
Achha.
not as of not yet.
Okay. Does MA holds the same weightage as an MBA? I'll answer this. When it comes from TISS, hell yes, absolutely yes. You go to any corner of this country or you go to any corner of this world, many people know TISS, they'll tell you better do MA from TISS rather than doing MBA from any Tom, Dick and Harry school. So it holds a lot of value. Guys, you know what? Thank you so much, Anushka, for asking this. Trust me, this 3 alphabets or 2 alphabets, this MA or MBA, these 3 alphabets gets their value only when you're from a top-notch B school. Otherwise, there are 5,000, 6,000 odd B schools in the country. Everybody's not, because that's where, you know, if you're from any Tom, Dick and Harry sort of a B school, people will say that, I think MBA kar le, everybody baat hai. But to tell them if you've done an MBA from, let's say, SP Jain, XLRI, or let's say FMS, then it gets value because of that brand. So when you talk about, I've done something from TISS, that if something has a lot more value, guys. So MA data hai TISS, it's a big thing, you know, it's a big thing actually. So never look at it, because there are a lot of people, I tell you, a lot of students, a lot of people that I spoke to, even parents, when I speak to them, they will say that, you know, we don't want to send our child to TISS because they give MA, and we always wanted our child to do an MBA. So they care a damn, you know, what is TISS all about? They just want MBA. So if you do it from Baba Gaudi, they're okay with that. So I have to explain, you know, it's not like that. TISS is a phenomenal B school, and for the fact, you know, it's a social science. It comes from Tata Group, you know, not much into the marketing and those, you know, hodgepodge things. I think, you know, it's a bigger brand, but, you know, should get that sort of an attention. So this is a big brand in itself. That's very true. That's very true, Shikhar. That is absolutely true.